How do you explain that a young man whose holiness we are celebrating today on the 28th of August, though the liturgy of Sunday veils it or prevails over the feast of that young man, was promiscuous, lived with a woman for a while, almost at the desperation of her mother, who prayed for 20 years for his conversion with tears and imploring God for his conversion? How do you explain that that young man became one of the greatest fathers of the church, doctors of the church, and saints, along with St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Therese, and many others? Well, his name, you know it, St. Augustine. Well, are there not any links between some points of the life of St. Augustine and the Gospel today? The Gospel today in chapter 14 in St. Luke speaks about humility. There are two aspects in the Gospel actually. Humility and gratuity. The gratuity of love. When we give someone a present, is it because we expect the other to give us another present? When we invite someone for a good lunch or dinner, do we expect the person to necessarily invite us later? Well, Jesus said, try to be gratuitous in love. Jesus gave his life in humility. Though he was God, he became man in every aspect of our life except sin. Today's society, as we know too well through social media, TV programs, streamlined movies and so on, stimulate wealth and money, so power, and therefore pleasures, lust in all its forms, right? And if the world say, love what is great, love being praised and honored, in the first reading today, what do we read from Ben Sirach? The wise accomplish everything with humility. The greater you are, the more you need to humble yourselves. Humble people give glory to God. That's what we read in the first reading. Isn't that good remedy to our sin of pride and vanity? Yes, it is. So we are all invited to a holy life. Everyone, even those who say, no, I'm not someone spiritual, I'm very pragmatical, I don't like to spend time in prayer, go to church, but I am a good person. I don't kill anybody. Well, thanks be to God, you don't. But we are called to a holy life. No one can enter heaven unless he or she is holy. And if we are not very holy, perfectly holy at the moment we die, you know what happens. In the best case, we stand in purgatory for a while, we don't know how much time, the time our soul is purified from all sins, so as to be completely united to God in love and in light. Purgatory is a mercy of God, for sinners who are not perfectly purified at the moment of their death. So how did St. Augustine become humble? Sexual sins, sensual sins make us really humiliated. It humiliates us when we want to be holy, when we want to pray, when we know the commandments, when we know the gospel, when we are a priest, a religious, and sometimes we may fall in some sins, as you know. Well, we are very sorry. We are humiliated a lot. But God sometimes He allows those struggles so that we can acquire a perfect chastity of mind and body, but by remaining humble, by begging from Him the grace that we need, all the graces we need to become humble and pure. So maybe we can say that St. Augustine is the patron of those who struggle for chastity of mind and body. And if we are successful in maintaining a perfect chastity of mind and body, if it's possible on earth, you know the temptation to become proud. And that's why the Lord may allow us sometimes to fall in those sins, like many people, that we don't want to commit. Thus, to finish, we need to ask in our prayer the Virgin Mary, the humble servant of the Lord, Saint Augustine, Saint Therese, who so much strive at remaining a humble child of God, to help us with all those virtues, especially humility. You know what Saint John Mary Vianney said? And I will finish by that. He said, we can have all the virtues like the grain of the rosaries, but if we do not have the strings of humility, all our virtues, boom, fall on the ground. So God bless you all.